Hi everyone, welcome at WaveAct. Today I want to show you a little bit about Testnet Faucets, right? Because I've seen in my last podcast videos that most people demand some more technical content. And yeah, here I am. So let's clarify some basic things first, right? I'm assuming that everyone watching this already understands how Metamask or the wallet itself works somehow, right? You don't have to be an expert, but you should have seen it once. That would be great. And I assume that you know what a blockchain is, right? And yeah, let's jump into it. So you can see my display here. In general, the first thing we have to look at is when we deploy our smart contracts, which is basically code on the blockchain that we cannot change anymore, usually, and if we can, only to a certain extent, and only that, those kind of things that we have thought of when programming the smart contract. But in general, you can change things, right? And that is great in terms of creating trustless applications, but it's bad in terms of fixing bugs, right? And for that reason, testing, right, testing your code becomes much, much more important. Yeah? We have basically uh, several different ways to do that. One major way is just to write tests, right? Code-based automated tests. We won't talk about that today. And the other thing is deploying the smart contract on the testnet itself and testing it yourself manually by executing transactions on the block explorer or with your script or whatsoever, right? And for that, right, since a testnet is nothing else than a blockchain as well, just one blockchain where you don't deal with real funds, like with real money. That's why it's called testnet. There's the question, how do I get these funds, right? Because if you deploy a smart contract on the testnet or execute transactions, you have to pay gas, like exactly like on the real blockchain as well, right? And for that, there is the question, okay, it's not real money, so I won't buy it with real money. How do I get them, right? And for that, we have so-called faucets, right? That's basically nothing else than a simple website for a specific testnet. There are many different testnets for different blockchains out there, and they let you claim or get some testnet funds for you to test your smart contracts, right? And they do this for a very simple reason. It's not real money, right? And it's usually from protocols or from the main providers itself that actually want that have some kind of stake, right? They have an vetted interest that you deploy on that specific blockchain, right? On the mainnet, right? So they want to encourage you to test on testnet as well. And yeah, depending on which blockchain you want to deploy on the mainnet, in the end, you also you don't need to, because EVM chains, Ethereum virtual machine chains are usually very similar or even the same in best case when it comes to deploying smart contracts. There's for every mainnet is usually a testnet, right? If we talk about Ethereum, for example, they have many different testnets, right? They have Gurley, they have Rinkaby, which is soon to be deprecated with ETH 2.0. They have Kovan, which I think will be also deprecated, but I'm not sure. Please don't take that word for granted. And there's the new testnet coming up or is already live, Sepolia. Yeah? And yeah, since Rinkaby is usually one of the easiest faucets to get testnet funds from, I will try the Sepolia one as well today, but the last few times I tried I didn't get any testnet funds. So that's a common issue, right? Some testnet faucets don't work all the time. Some require you to post on Twitter a certain text, paste the link in there, and then you get testnet funds. And they also limit you to how many funds you can claim within a certain time period. Usually it's 24, 48, or 72 hours. And yeah, I would say let's just jump right into the first one. One thing that we have to consider, if you open Metamask, for example, usually it looks like this, right? You have, if you're a mainnet as network on there, you either have funds on it or not. I don't have funds. And if you open, for example, now faucets.chainlink, right, you will see that they have different testnet faucets. Right? They have, for example, Arbitrum, which is an optimistic rollup. They have Avalanche, which is an alternative layer 1. They have BNB, Smart Chain, Ethereum Kovan, Rinkeby, Phantom, which is also an alternative, Harmony, POA, Polygon Mumbai, which is the testnet for Polygon, and so on, right? As you can see, since I just went with the basic, let's say, pure setup, right? I just installed Metamask and have my empty account here. The first thing, if you look in there, I'm already having some testnets there, sorry for that. But in general, you only see certain networks, so it will be different from you, right? What you can see here is show hide test networks, right? That's actually not that old. Usually, I think 1 year ago, Metamask also always showed the testnets. But since not only developers are using Metamask anymore, or more and more normal non-devs, non-techies are using Metamask, they decided to hide testnets, right? And yeah, I think that's a great idea. But what you now need to do is click on that show hide, and you will be redirected to that show test networks, right? And if you click that toggle to turn it on, you will see that suddenly there should be Rinkeby, Kovan, Robston, Gurley, just those basically those kind of test nets that are saved in Metamask by default. If you don't have that button to click, the text, basically it's if you click on this one, settings, advanced, and scroll a little bit down, you will find this show test networks, right? Yeah, depending now on which testnet you want to deploy, right? As we have seen, these testnets are for Ethereum only usually, right? If you, for example, want to deploy on Polygon, then I would recommend, yeah, I usually, as I said, it doesn't make much of a difference, but I would recommend to use the Polygon Mumbai testnet, right, or whatsoever, just to be in their ecosystem, right? Because some things are always different, but not that much, right? Especially if you have an isolated smart contract, it doesn't really matter, but I would recommend it still. There is a site which is called chainlist.org, right? If you click on that, you will see that they have all kinds of networks, right? Not only testnets, but also mainnets, right? Different blockchains that you can connect your Metamask wallet to, right? They have here, as you might see, a toggle again. If you enable that, testnets will be shown in that list as well. So just for demonstration purposes, if you now type in Mumbai, then you see the Polygon testnet, for example. And what you can do now is, if you click on that arrow, you will see the public RPCs, right? And these RPCs are basically access points for your wallet to actually interact with the blockchain, right? So what you can do now is just click Connect Wallet and then add to Metamask. And what Metamask will do is either it will ask you first, add network to Metamask, right? I already have it in my network, just an additional click. And then this pop-up will show up, switch network. That's it, right? And as you can see now, we have here Mumbai, right? You're now successfully on the Mumbai testnet. So that's super cool. Okay, but as we know, that's not so great. I have zero Matic, so I can't deploy on their testnet yet. So if I, for example, go to faucets.chainlink.link, they have several different faucets as we have seen before. That's cool. If you connect your wallet there, I will just disconnect these other wallets. Sorry for that. It should look like that for you. If you click on Connect Wallet, Metamask, it will pop up again. Then you choose your wallet you want to use. And then your own public key should be already in there where the testnet funds will be transferred to. You click on I'm a human. And yeah, I think you all know that. I'm bad at these things, so let's hope. People might already see that I'm an Austrian or German at least. So, yeah, okay. For Mumbai, they just sent you testnet links, but it's the same. If you click, for example, on that, they will just execute the transaction. That's how a faucet might work, for example, right? If we, for example, switch now to Rinkaby, because they also sent you ETH there, which we actually need to deploy. So I will just refresh this. You will see that they automatically have a great usability and switch to the right network. And yeah, here you can choose what you actually need. You can have both or just ETH. I'm just taking both right now. Again, I click on this and I have to click the same things again. So let's do this. And let's go. Give me the money. Okay, awesome. As you can see, it's 2 transactions now. I will click on these. Both are pending. For those that don't know, that's the testnet block explorer, basically. You can see on that side all kind of transactions that are going through or are going on the Rinkaby testnet in this case, right? Indexing means, sorry, that it's already in the blockchain, right? It's already included. Just the block explorer itself needs to index it right now to actually show you what's going on. So what we should be able to see now is 0.1 Rinkaby ETH. Awesome, yeah. That's the transaction where we got it, right? And that's, if I click here to 2, that's my account, right? I just got 0.1 ETH and I got 20 Chainlink. Yeah, Chainlink is just a token that you can use for so-called oracles, which is nothing else than accessing the internet from your smart contracts. But that's a more advanced topic that we won't discuss today. And yeah, awesome. Congratulations. You used your first faucet. But there are for sure many different ones, right? We have seen that Chainlink itself just gives you Chainlink on the Polygon testnet. but Polygon itself has for sure an own faucet as well. So if we switch, or actually they don't require you to switch at all. If you go to faucet.polygon.technology, for example, they give you, for example, for the Mumbai testnet Matic token, which is gas on their chain, right? And they don't require you to connect your wallet, but rather want you to paste your public key in there. So I will just copy that, paste it in there, and submit, right? Confirm, and I should get, or should have received, my Mumbai Matic. If I switch to the network, it's not there yet. Okay, so let's look on the block explorer again. As you can see, it looks a little bit different. It's a polygon scan, and it should be there within a few seconds. Usually, worst case, it's a minute. Would be great if you show me the transaction so that I actually can see. Yeah, 0.2 Matic. Awesome. Awesome. As you can see, it also shows up here now. And with that, we already can deploy on the Matic testnet. Perfect. For the mainnet, for sure, you have to buy these coins, actually. You don't just get them from a faucet because it's real money, right? You have to pay the validators or miners or whatsoever, depending on the network you're on. And yeah, that's actually how it works. I think one question remains possibly, how do I find these faucets, right? Usually that's always a minor challenge, right? Because not every faucet works the way you would expect them to work, because some of them don't have any funds left. Some are just discontinued and don't work anymore. Yeah, basically, I tell you what I do. Usually the network itself has an official faucet, right? That one is usually the best. But many times you also need to, for example, for the official one, need to provide your Twitter to, you need to tweet on Twitter with a certain keyword that they provide to you to verify that it's you, to avoid that people drain the faucet, get all the testnet funds out, and other people are left with nothing, right? That's one thing that many or several faucets do, and people, for example, like me, I hate posting on my Twitter account for testnet funds. Then you for sure have to search for alternatives. Yeah, if the main provider forces you to do that, and yeah, as always, we are programmers, right? You basically search faucet and type in the network you're searching for, right? If it's, for example, Boba network, if it's Rinkeby, if it's Polygon, if it's Avalanche, I don't know. Everyone usually has a faucet, as you can see. Faucet, Avalanche, and we are here. Their testnet, and you can get the testnet funds. So thank you for watching. I hope this was helpful. Got a little bit longer than expected, but yeah, thank you for watching.